the middleweight showdown. Unbeaten rising star Yoenli Hernandez faces his toughest test in U.S. Olympian Terrell Gausha, with the winner moving within reach of a world title shot. Gausha has pushed champions and prospects alike to their limits, even dropping fighters like Tim Tszyu and Elijah Garcia. For Hernandez, this isn't just another fight. It's a proving ground. If he's truly ready for the top, he'll show it here. If not, Gausha will expose it. Here's Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Well, fans, from the MGM Grand Garden Arena here in Las Vegas, Premier Boxing Champions presents this middleweight attraction. It is brought to you by TGB Promotions and Warriors Boxing. Also sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Introducing our three judges scoring from ringside. We have Max DeLuca, Chris Migliori, and Steve Weisfeld. Our third man to the ring, our referee in charge, Alan Huggins. All right, fans, here we go. 10 rounds of boxing at stake. The NABO and WBA Continental Latin America titles in the middleweight division. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the red corner. He is wearing red trunks with multicolored trim, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio. He weighed in at 160.8 pounds. His record stands at 24 wins, 5 losses, and 1 draw, with 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the former U.S. Olympian and the renowned battle-tested contender, introducing Terrell Gausha. His opponent across the ring, ready to go, fighting out of the blue corner. Wearing red trunks with green trim, fighting out of Providence, Rhode Island by way of Camagüey, Cuba. His record his weight 158 pounds, 0.4 pounds, a sensational amateur. He is undefeated in the professional ranks with a record of 9 wins, no losses, 8 of his wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the hard-hitting, top-rated, undefeated, rising world-ranked contender, introducing Yoenli El Diablo Hernandez. Once again, the referee in charge is Alan Huggins. Now to give instructions, 10 rounds of boxing schedule.
Okay, gentlemen, you both be given the instructions. Obey my command at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Anything from here on up is good. From here on up is good. Touch gloves. Good luck to both of you.
Hernandez breaks the Cuban mold, built like a light heavyweight, bringing size, strength, and pressure with layered offense and heavy hands. Yeah, he can box, but he chooses to impose. Meanwhile, Gausha enters this fight with a renewed commitment to becoming a finisher. Round number 1, scheduled for 10 in the middleweight division. And immediately, Hernandez establishes the jab.
Hernandez is long, explosive, and very much looks to be the future of this middleweight division. You just wonder, is the future now here in his 10th pro fight? He's never really fought someone with the skills, the defensive ability of Gausha.
Yeah, if there was ever a fighter to prove yourself against, it will be a fighter like Gausha.
Man, Hernandez putting it on Gausha early, and he said, yes, Gausha is a tough, durable test, but I'm going to break him down with pressure and power. And as Brian mentioned, Hernandez says middleweight needs a new face. Get used to mine.
You may put nightmares in some of our El Diablo mask.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him fight every weekend. He's so entertaining. He throws a lot of really aggressive Yoenli Hernandez. And again, one thing that Gausha said, and he's not doing it, I will throw more punches in this fight.
Gausha known as a defensive specialist with hard counter punching.
Oh, nice right hand.
There's a jab to the body, well done by Hernandez.
One thing Gausha told us about fighting younger fighters, he says people that bring the fight sometimes don't bring their defense with them. So that's what he's hoping for, that Hernandez will leave these openings.
Yeah, and if there's anything that Gausha has is that experience, opening those that guard, waiting for the right moment to let those hands go, and round by round finding a way to gain in the fight.
It's been all Hernandez here as he's walking down Gausha, backing him up. Gausha firing back with the right hand, but just pawing and definitely not throwing more punches as advertised. But it's hard to do when this offensive onslaught is coming your way. Nice pull back counter, and now Hernandez going to the body and upstairs. Hernandez looking to close the show here in the first round. Uppercut left.
He looks like a scary dude as El Diablo continues to walk Gausha down.
That will be quite the statement if he gets this knockout early.
Especially against a 2012 Olympian. This is Gausha's 200th round as a professional, has faced nothing but the best in his career. And here tonight is on the receiving end of a first-round whooping courtesy of Yoenli Hernandez.
Hernandez just not letting Gausha breathe.
No, definitely not. And even that jab is so powerful from Hernandez, pushing Gausha back.
An offensive force here in the first 3 minutes. Hernandez, 24 of 60. Gausha, just 6 of 35.
Time!
Mo, while Keith Thurman's trying to turn it back to the 2010s, how about Fundora bringing out the 80s? Fundora bringing out the 80s mustache right there.
That's awesome Anchorman stuff. Round number 2, and Gausha trying to be more aggressive here to start. And of course, be careful when you get involved with an exchange with a guy like Hernandez.
Yeah, that's the only thing. If he wants to be more aggressive, that's going to create more opportunities for Hernandez to be able to catch him opening up.
And at 37 for Terrell Gausha, this could very well be the last opportunity to assert himself in the middleweight division again, taking on the likes of Carlos Adames. And
well, one thing Adames said at the press at the press conference this week, he said, we got to stop this narrative about me just being a tough opponent for the champions or the fighters on the rise up. He wants to switch that up and prove that he's still very much a contender in this division.
Well, he's contending with a very difficult task in front of him here.
I knew you were going to say that.
He's coming on strong.
Definitely not making his case, right?
Upstairs uppercut. I mean, he's just strafing his body, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the pressure from Hernandez. I mean, he's just throwing a lot and not giving Brian said he's not giving him time to breathe. Talking about Gausha, yeah.
Forget the fact that he's a knockout artist from Cuba, the fact that he's a lefty. It's just incredible the attributes that Yoenli Hernandez presents. And let's not forget, this is just his 10th fight as a professional after a decorated amateur career.
Certainly on the fast track here at age 28, but he's showing you that he belongs.
Amen.
Yeah, definitely impressive. I mean, Gausha is a fighter who gave Tim Tszyu problems.
Yes, dropped him in the first.
Last fight against Elijah Garcia. A lot of people thought he won, and look at what Hernandez has been doing these last 2 rounds. Impressive.
Gausha also has a draw with Austin Trout that a lot of observers thought should have went his way.
Gausha has fought 4 former or current champions.
Step back.
And again, we're
coming into this
second
fight,
round.
one of boxing's great unsolved puzzles, but Hernandez seems to be solving it quite easily so far.
What's interesting is Hernandez told us in the fighter meetings he planned to work from mid to long distance and be aggressive from the outside, and he said you'll see a different Yoenli Hernandez, and that just hasn't been the case. And by the way, that's a smart adjustment so far.
Making those punches count, and it's just not the punches. Look at the way he delivers the shots, mixing up the hooks, the crosses, the uppercuts, and being fully in command every single second of every round thus far.
How are you doing? You good? How do you see him? Oh, he's good.
Lo mismo que el primer asalto.
The same thing you did in the first round.
No lo dejes salir mucho.
Don't let him get out of the ropes.
Usa tu finta también.
Feints too.
Usa tu finta, ¿oíste?
Use the feints,
Y
okay?
después métele. Está tratando de... Lo único que tú tienes que ver es que está tratando de sorprender.
The only thing that you gotta understand
No
is
lo
that
dejes que te
he's
sorprenda.
trying to surprise you with something.
Busca
Don't
jab,
let that
fácil,
happen.
busca jab y mete la combinación.
Look for the
Pero
jab,
lo
jab, and
único, lo
combinations.
mejor que tú puedes hacer es la posición.
The best thing you can do is
La
the
posición mejor
position.
que nada. Y cuando tú lo tienes, busca el 4 y el 7 y después
And when you have
ahógalo.
them,
Porque
3, 4
cuando tú
punches.
metes 7, estás tratando de
And drown him with the
contrapunto.
punches.
Muy bien, muy bien.
Really good, really good.
Hernandez staying sharp in camp and helps when you get to spar with the likes of Canelo Alvarez, who's very high on Yoenli Hernandez. And we're watching action in the middleweight division, a division in a state of flux. Unified champion Janabek Halamkanuli tested positive for a banned substance, stripped of one of his titles. Carlos Adames just recently successfully defended his title, talks about moving up to 168. And of course, the timeless wonder, Erislandy Lara, the fellow Cuban of Hernandez, as Hernandez puts together a plethora of uppercuts. But you see what I'm saying? The division needs the new blood, and Hernandez wants to be that guy.
Hernandez
and boy,
is switching
he's
stances on the
incredible
move
display here tonight. And again, against Terrell Gaucher, you guys.
Cutting off the ring at every turn to continually pin Gaucher back.
Yeah, splitting that guard too. I mean, the shots are so powerful that literally he's splitting that guard open and getting those punches in.
Man, everything he delivers is with an authoritative thud.
Even his shoes have devil horns and a tail on them.
The devil is in the details. And look at the details of the total punches through 3 rounds. It's a whitewash for Yoenli Hernandez.
Wow.
And boy, the combinations, the beautiful execution of technique.
When Gaucher gave us a scouting report on Hernandez, he mentioned sometimes wide hooks, a little bit too reckless. We've seen nothing but great poise here on the inside from Hernandez.
Yeah, well said. That's exactly what he's doing. He's so in control that, you know, he does take those steps back and tries to see what he has to do next. Not overcommitting at times, and I like that from Hernandez.
And it's a suffocating attack by Hernandez. But here comes Gaucher opening up. He's forced to open up, but be careful. Hernandez now unloading with the uppercut. The left-hand referee watching. Gaucher trying to defend, but in trouble. Now the veteran
Show me something, okay? Come on.
trying to hold on.
Yeah, you know something hurt or something happened when you're trying to hold, trying to grab. It's definitely
Let it go.
hurt him, or, you know, something went wrong there for Gaucher.
There Gaucher with the 1-2, but the high guard blocking that for Hernandez. Nothing getting through. But we're looking at a middleweight in Yoenli Hernandez.
His footwork, his athleticism, his explosiveness,
It's so big.
and then you
Show me
have that
something,
length on
Come on.
top of it.
Yeah.
But look, if you're Gaucher, you're trying to see if he'll slow down a bit, see
On the
if the
bell.
openings will begin to be there.
Hard to believe that will come true, but yeah, I think that's his best hope.
That was good.
We are through 3 rounds still. One time, Keith Thurman challenges
I want to see some
Sebastian
defense,
Fundora
okay?
for the
Okay, that's cool, that's cool.
145-pound
All right,
title
good.
in
Stay right there,
tonight's
stay
main
right there.
event.
Okay, let's go.
We are set for the 4th round, and it has been all Yoenli Hernandez. Abner, we always talk about adjustments, easier said than done. I know Gaucher wants to open up, but as soon as he does,
Yeah.
he gets caught.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
adjustments can the veteran make? There's no footwork, there's no lateral movement.
Yeah, the jab, throwing more, but you said it right. Every time he throws or opens up, it gives an opportunity for Hernandez to land. And he's a lot more faster than Gaucher that, you know, those punches are going through that guard. So for Gaucher, maybe the jab, use the entire ring, 1-2 punches. I mean, the fighter that we're known for Gaucher, try to counter punch. I know easier said than done.
Are you surprised at how easy Hernandez is making it look, Brian?
I am, and it's the keeping up the pace that he is, the switching of stances to not allow an exit for a smart fighter like Gaucher, and just putting Gaucher in a spot where the only offense he's going to have is throwing with Hernandez, and that is a dangerous proposition.
Man, Hernandez is just toying with Gaucher right now. heavy right hand in the.
That's it, brother.
Oh, wow.
Whoa. Same referee, guys. Alan Huggins earlier tonight stopped the fight on the prelims.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, that's the second time tonight. Alan Huggins did that. Second time tonight. What just happened? I mean, safety is paramount.
Yeah, but he's taking away from the performance.
Give these athletes a chance to do their apply their craft, Brian Campbell.
And for Gaucher, who had the
Yes,
unfortunate
who's
decision
never
last
been
fight
stopped.
against Elijah Garcia, he has a reputation for being tough, for not getting hurt.
And that's how you're going to give him his first knockout loss?
I don't like the stoppage.
Abner?
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I don't like it. It's bad. It takes away from the performance from Yoenis Hernandez as well, because I think he could have done a lot more, showed a lot more, and perhaps get that knockout that they just gave that to him right now, but in a different way. Not happy with the.
We're not even halfway through this fight.
People pay hard-earned money to watch a prize fight, and again, I will never have volunteered to be a referee. I would never do it. It's a tough, it's very, very difficult, but you are paid to do a job. And again, it's the second time tonight. I say this again. Well,
And
let's see what he saw.
This is not Hernandez's fault. He's
Not at
doing
all.
what
No, of
he's
course
supposed to do, which is put on pressure, split the guard with big punches, but
Wow.
Gaucher's not even hurt in this situation.
That was a push down. Yeah.
And again, you don't want to remove the headline. Another incredible performance for Yoenis Hernandez, who was robbed of a chance to make an emphatic highlight reel knockout.
Exactly.
And again, Gaucher, who's been in there with the upper echelon and at 37 years of age, stopped for the first time.
Who's to say in the second half of this fight that Hernandez doesn't slow down and that Gaucher doesn't pick it up?
Yep. Anyway, we will get the official word now from Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 1 minute 17 seconds in round number 4. Our referee stops the contest. He is the winner by way of technical knockout. He is still undefeated. And now the NABO and WBA Continental Latin American Champion, Yoenis El Diablo Hernandez.
So Hernandez moves to 10-0 with his 9th stoppage win. Gaucher stopped for the very first time. Brian Custer, not the way we wanted to see this fight end.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Listen, Terrell Gaucher is a tough guy. He may have only lasted a couple of more rounds, but I'll tell you what, this is something that you want the guy to finish it out. I just didn't like that stoppage at all.
No, but you could tell it wasn't going to get any better.
Right.
I think the fighter himself deserved to go out the way he wanted to go out. But I see where the referee's coming from, and it's a dangerous sport. Hernandez is a bad dude. He's one of my favorite up-and-coming prospects right now. And he just was doing to Gaucher that nobody else has done to him really before. Dismantle him.
Yeah, and now listen, this guy's is probably going to be one of the top guys there at middleweight. That division is wide open, especially with the diamonds moving up, wide open for this guy.